All right, something a bit different from me today. This is Chris. Chris is a member of the Jeep XJ club over on Facebook, the UK one, and Chris loves his XJ. So much so that when he had a bit of an accident and it was to all intents and purposes written off because of its age, and well, mainly because of its age, he decided he was going to buy it back off the insurance company and rebuild it himself. He's made a really good job of it, so much so that I asked him if I could put this together so that I could put it out on YouTube so that all you guys could have a look. So I'm going to hand you over to Chris. If once I've edited it all together I think that there's more information that you need, I'll either jot a little bit on the end, or I'll leave all the information in the description. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Chris. Over to you, mate.
Well, if anybody tells you that XJs are not safe, I can assure you they are. That's a brand new transit van, and when I've hit him hard enough to bend the rear axle around, because that rear wheel is not straight, and that's the front of my car. Whew. All the kids are okay, which is the important thing. Police are here. See the divot in the road there where the van's shot over to avoid this twat that's pulled out on the wrong side of the road, and when he's put the brakes on to avoid that car, I've gone straight in the back of him, and that's that. Right, so now it's back. I thought for those that are interested I would do a quick breakdown of what they did, why it took so long, and what this all cost, because this, although it was very cheap in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't very cheap for me. Right, so the reason it went there in the first place is obviously I had the front ender, and when I rebuilt the car with the new parts, the front clip was blue, the front wings were blue, the front wheel arches were blue, the bonnet here had been bent down a little bit, and also I wanted the roof repair done, so there was rust all over here in the middle and on the other end. And on these, as I'm sure you all know, nobody repairs their air conditioning because you've got to take the dash out to do it properly. So you get condensation build up between the roof skins from the front to the back. You put the brakes on, the moisture runs to the front, sits in the middle, runs to each side, and as the years go by, just rots through. So I got a patch panel from Stefan, who expertly, almost like laser accuracy, cut out this piece all the way across, and Colin in the body shop cut the corresponding piece out of this car and bonded a section from the piece that Stefan gave me into here. And if you didn't know that had been done, you wouldn't know. This bit is absolutely just spot on. I've been in the retail motor industry for 20 years, and in that time I've had, you can imagine, I've had hundreds and hundreds of cars sent to the body shop, and this is really good work, which is why I wanted to send it to him in the first place. So the original plan was they were going to do the roof repair, paint the car from here forward, and that was it. The problem came with the coach lines. So this car had coach lines, two white coach lines from front to back, which I never really liked, to be honest, but that presented a problem because the body shop said they were going to find it difficult to match those lines if they painted from here forward. Then they'd have to paint both doors because they'd need to scuff off the coach lines up to about here. So they said, leave it with us, we'll do the best we can, we'll see what we can do. Maybe 8 months later, he was so embarrassed at how long this was all taking, he said, look, we're just going to paint the whole car for you, the whole car, which obviously I couldn't argue with. So they painted the whole car. They did the rust repair on the roof there. There was also a really awful patch about here that looked like it was the clear coat reacting with the sun. In the 90s, American car manufacturers and some English car manufacturers used a clear coat that was just awful, and it didn't last very long, particularly on these bits here. It was starting to flake on my car here and on this bit as well. So I took care of all of that. I provided them with the new metal, what would you call them, pieces that go behind all four wheel arches that kind of poke through, that you bolt on and pinch the inside of the wheel arch to the panel. They were not cheap. They were about 170 quid for a set of 4, which was really expensive. When you see them out of the packet, they're just pressed steel parts that will eventually rust again, but you know, is what it is. There's not really any point in putting the used ones on because they're just going to be rusty and the bolts will just snap off. So this whole car is going to get Lanagarded soon, so I'll rinse all of the inside of those with Lanagard, and hopefully it will keep these nuts and bolts from dying and snapping off. The other thing he did, sill repair. I got him a new sill panel for this side, and he repaired a section of rust about here in the front sill. Didn't charge me any more money for that. I just provided him with a patch panel. There were, I think, 2 other tiny patches of rust which he did. One of them was, if you know what these look like when you take these off, there's bits that, if you take this off, what sits behind there doesn't just look like this profile. There's bits that stick down like that, and one of those was slightly rotten. Luckily it wasn't one of the bits with the hole in that the mounting bits go through, so he buzzed that out and painted it up because you can't see it behind here anyway. So did some rust repair on this, and I think the other side as well. And he had to pay his windscreen guy to take the windscreen in and out, obviously to do the roof, and drop the headlining down just slightly. So presumably, I think he sat with his bum here, put his legs inside the car with the windscreen out, and tackled the roof repair like that. Really, really skillful guy. So what did this all cost? Well, I told him originally I had £3,600 left of the insurance payout. I got paid out 7.5 grand, but of that money I had to buy the car back as scrap. That wasn't cheap, that was nearly 2 grand. I had to buy all of the bits to put chunk back together, so front clip, grille, I think I reused my headlights actually, front air dam or splitter, whatever you'd call it down there, was new. A couple of wheel arches, the list goes on and on. Both airbags, obviously. That panel there that covers up the passenger airbag was new. I had to buy a new steering wheel airbag, although this has got a different wheel on it now because I've put the wheel on there from the WJ Overland. I had to buy a new airbag module which sits just down there. You have to take the central armrest out, and it's down. What else? It just goes on and on and on. I amassed a load of other bits over the last 19 months. So new gear knob, which I still can't fit because apparently the gear knob that's on there is absolutely welded to that shaft. I know it's only held on with a little bit of Loctite, but I cannot for the life of me get that off, and I don't want to do it with pliers and damage the original one. I got gifted some new JBL Harman Kardon speakers for the back. I bought the American imported Bluetooth unit that plugs into the back of the standard stereo where the CD changer goes, which I really like because you cannot see that this car has got anything else other than a standard stereo in it. The only way you would know is looking, where are we? Up there by the rear view mirror where the microphone is. when you take Bluetooth calls. I've got my original quad lock wireless phone charger mount. That thing is excellent. It's not cheap, but if you just want to be able to get in the car, twist your phone onto that and have it start charging without having to plug anything in, well worth it. Steering wheel was, I think, 110 without the airbag. Then I had to find the airbag. The correct airbag is the one with the silver Jeep script on the front from an Overland. That was about 35 quid. Had to buy 2 of those because the first one got sent back because when it arrived it was covered in black mould. It was horrible. I tried everything to get it off, vinegar, all sorts of potions, but it just wasn't working. What else did I need to do? In the accident, the car was obviously hitting the front and was swiped down here. I think it was this side at the back. This alloy had a chunk knocked off by the car that hit me, so I needed another alloy. That was about 45 quid. I had to get that diamond cut at work. I got that done cheap. That was about 75 quid. I had to buy a new tyre. These things are not cheap now. When I first put these on, these were £142 each. 2 years ago, another one of these on its own was 208. So tyres have gone up in the last 2 years. What else? I'm probably forgetting loads of bits and bobs, but I think that's about it. So the total, including paying the guy to take the windscreen out and put it back, doing all the rust repair and doing the seal repair and painting the whole car, was £3,710. Now, I know 19 months is a very long time, and trust me, it was painful waiting for it. You can't say no to that amount of work for that amount of money when you've got this result. And I haven't washed it yet. I am going to ceramic coat it, but I don't want to do that for a couple of weeks because the paint is still curing and it's kind of off-gassing. Most of the car has been painted for a long time. The most recent stuff that's been done are the wheel arches, so I just need to wait another week or so for them to off-gas. Then I can wash it, clay it, and then apply some ceramic. So after that, washing it will be a lot easier. But yeah, I've still got to put on the Hella Comet 450s on the front. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to buy a riv nut gun. This bumper, I think, is from a car that originally had factory spotlights because it's got factory holes, or what looks to me like factory holes there and there, because it's got some pop welds behind each hole. You might be able to tell me otherwise, but to me, they look factory. But to drill the holes for the Comets, I'm going to have to drill holes slightly further forward, so the back of the light clears the grille. But I want to do that with riv nuts because then you can screw down into the bumper, get that nice and tight, and you can also remove them in the future as well if you want to. But it just makes aiming these really easy. The lights on chunk previously, those KC daylighters, were great, but I drilled through the bumper and then bolted them from below, and it was a real pain. Like, to get a long extension up there, you just can't, because the bottom of the bumper tucks right underneath. So I had to drill a hole in the bottom, a bigger hole, so I could get the extension and the socket up to the top. Well, I won't need to do that with riv nuts, so that's what I want to do. So that is it. What do you think? Would you have waited for that much work, for that much money? It's really dirty at the minute, but yeah, let me know what you think.